The older you get, I found out that the more people tend to, you see this, just like when you said, she met someone on the phone. So the older we get, now I am speaking also because I'm in my 40s. So the older we get, the more people tend to introduce us to people. Recently, I told my mom that, please, I'm not a charity case. Stop introducing me.
She cares. No, mothers will never stop. Mothers will never
I
stop.
told her, I said, I understand your bias. You're my mom. I'm not angry with you, but
Yeah.
I don't want anymore. It's okay.
This topic came out as a result of some of my friends were talking about how the dating pool for ladies above 30s is a bit challenging, but we're not going to, in order for us to understand it clearly, we have an expert here that's going to tell us why this is happening. She is Precious Udin. She's a coach, a certified love and sex therapist. And I also have here with me my sister, Onye Dorothy. Hello, wonderful ladies. Great to have you on today's show.
It's good to be here, and I love the topic because over the last couple of years, we found out that women are supposedly getting older without, being in relationships. And it's not like the days of old when you could see an 18-year-old. Most of our parents got married before they were 20.
Yeah, it's true.
By 32, my mom had finished giving birth to all the kids she wanted to have. So, but now we have women at like 35, 40, some even in their 50s, and they've never been married. Some have not even had any serious long-term relationships.
Yeah.
And it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge. But there are ways to navigate it. Is there a reason why this is happening? Yes. There are several reasons why it's happening.
Please tell us why.
So one of the reasons is women are becoming more independent. It's not a bad thing. It's just that before now, so let's start from the olden days, like the real olden days of Nigeria. Women were not educated, like they were not being trained in schools. So the men will go to school and then just come and get married to a wife. Now, finally, women started primary school or elementary school, as they used to call it. And then most of them went on to, most of our mothers were teachers because the option they had then was to go to TTC. I'm using the Nigerian scenario now. And then after TTC, most of them did their BEd, but basically it was teaching jobs. So it was more like teaching job was a woman's job. But in all of this, the women still got married early because they were not career oriented. They were more family oriented.
Okay.
So men didn't even have to struggle to find a wife. All the man needed to do was tell his people, I'm ready to get married. And they would tell him, don't worry, we'll get a girl for you. So parents would organize wives. You just come home, they've arranged wife for you.
Yeah.
Or if you are in the city and you cannot come home, your mother comes with the wife to you in the city. Now, fast forward to when civilization and modernization started happening. Some parents decided to empower their female daughters by training them in school. Now, this could be as a result of, I love my daughter, I just want her to be the best. Or as a result of experiences from, this is how my own husband treated me. I will not allow my daughter's husband to treat her that way. So I think the way to empower my daughter is to make sure she's educated and get a job. Now, while the person is going through all of these processes, depending on her upbringing, relationship, love, marriage might not be on her mind. I remember when I finished university, my pastor told me, I finished university, finished youth service. He was like, now you're done, so marriage is the next thing. And then I couldn't even give him the answer that I would give now, because now I would have given the answer of, let me go marry myself. No be man go still come find me, marry me. But as of then, I couldn't give that answer because I was not as enlightened as I am now. Now, women finish university, do their NYC, go on to their PhD. Nobody is talking to them about marriage because it's no longer an achievement, so to speak. It's not a box you tick anymore. Instead, it's like you're advancing with your career. I will not sit at home waiting for a man that will probably not even show up. Not because the men don't want to marry, but because society has placed so much demand on the whole marriage thing that it will not be, oh, I need to have a car, I need to have a stable job, I need to be able to take care of a wife and kids. I mean, it's not being anymore. Now you cannot just, as a man, you cannot be broke and call your father and say, send me 20,000. I want to pay my child's school fees.
It's not done.
So the men now take more time getting ready for marriage, thereby leaving the women unmarried for a longer time. And these women will not be idle because, I mean, the world is growing at an exponential rate. So if you look at women, if you put 10 women, 9, in fact, let me say 7 will have jobs, the other 3 are business people.
Yes.
It's very, very rare to find an idle, so to speak, woman who is not doing anything.
It's very rare.
It's either she's working in an office or she's selling something. She might be drop shipping. She might not even have the capital to go into the business herself, but she's drop shipping. She's doing network marketing. She's doing something. And so now society will not say, oh, okay, as a woman, oh, because now you have money, you have pride. So the world does not even help the women anymore because they now put fear in the minds of men, forgetting that the woman who has money does not mean she does not have good home upbringing, or does not mean she does not have good character. I remember when I wanted to, live on my own, what people told me was, you want to go and stay on your own and you are not married, which man will marry you? And it was really strange because they were like, you're living in the same town with your parents, but you want to live on your own. It's not like I wanted to relocate to within the same city.
It's true. I hear that.
And it was an odd thing. Why? Which man wants to marry a man who comes to your house and everything is there? What thing he won't do for you again? He will feel a challenge, like you will not respect him anymore. Yes. And I'm like, so because I have chair in my house, I will not respect man. Or because so I should not be comfortable because I want to marry. And then you now have the in fact there are so many, you now have the ones who are looking for women that have made it already, so that they don't have any work to do.
Sorry, I need to chip in.
That's a rabbit hole.
I remember I was telling Doris an experience I had. Like, okay, one was the time a friend of mine asked me if I was seeing someone. I said no, I wasn't. So she said, okay, let me hook you up with someone, as in see how it goes. We got talking, and the next thing the guy asked me for my age. I felt that it wasn't. I didn't want to lie about my age, so I told him. The guy just went mute and he said, "I'll call you back." He didn't call me back. He sent a text saying, "Sorry, I cannot continue this conversation because I don't want to get involved with someone at the same age with me. I want someone in my 20s." I was like, "Oops." And that scenario of a guy there said, if he's going to date a lady, she has to work, not just anyhow work. She has to pay. We have to split the bill. I'm not saying women should not get involved in their husband's financial whatever. Yes. I'm just saying the guy gave his own criteria as if it was a job description. Has that happened to you before? I don't understand.
Sorry,
yes, it has. Yes, it can. Yes.
So for me, the guy that hung up and said and sent you a text message saying that he cannot continue. For me, I consider that guy a good guy.
Yes, he was. He was decent enough.
Yes, he was very decent. He was a good guy and didn't want to deceive you or waste your time. Yeah, most of our men will continue with the relationship. You're a fine girl, you're a fine lady, without intention of anything serious with you.
Sure.
They will continue. And aside from that, even as men have their own conditions here and there, I think we women also have ours as well. I remember before I got married, I always told myself, I will never marry a man that I am older than. In fact, I will marry a man I wanted a man that was 5 years and above. It had to be 5 years and above. I wouldn't consider anything less. So for me, men have their own conditions. Women have theirs too. So basically, what I'm saying is, I think it's a two-way thing. I think really this issue is a two-way thing. Yes, the men sometimes want younger ladies, younger girls. At the same time, the girls too want wealthy men, men that are already made men.
Yes.
I wanted that too. I told myself that I wanted that. Then sometimes we women are not as intentional with ourselves as we should be. Honestly, especially growing up at that tender age in our 20s, going to our 30s, we always feel like we have so much time. I threw away 8 years of my youth dating one person I knew for sure could not marry me because I felt I was in love. But with what I know now, I just know that I was not intentional enough with myself. So that's my own take. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
I agree. As men want younger women, women want richer men. So the woman will tell you, I don't want to grow with a man or with your partner. Now you might meet him already made, that's fine. But if he's not yet made, I mean, you can both grow together. Now I had an experience the early part of this year, and it's amazing, that experience happened. People thought when it happens, they're like, oh, if it was them, they would have been shattered, they would have been this. And I said, my only concern was that it took me almost 3 months to finally discover his true intention. The question was, yes, you want to marry a lady who you're just 1 year older than. How sure are you that she will be able to give birth, get pregnant and give birth? And you see, that singular statement was what ruined it. At the
That's a
end
good
of the day,
question.
I'm not God.
Nobody is exactly.
So when they asked that question, he answered and said, well, let's see how it goes. But his attitude towards me was the one that changed. And when I asked him, and so because of that, he was holding on to not fully letting, like, I don't want to lose out on who I was with before you. She's younger. But let's just see how. So it was more or less on his part. Now, that was what I got to find out like a couple of months later. Because there was no reason why you knew that your criteria was I should get pregnant and you still had somebody else in your life. Oga, sit down one place. So
Really sit
it
down one
gets
place.
He was
it
trying
gets tougher
chopping both sides.
as we
God.
get older.
Yeah.
It takes an intentional man. Like I said, I'm just coming from a wedding of a friend of mine. Intentionality matters. He met her
Yes.
this year. He told her, look, this is what I want. While she was busy trying to make up her mind, he said, look, fix a date. I'm coming to see your parents.
Yeah.
And today is their traditional wedding. By January, when she comes back to Port Harcourt, they will go to do their court wedding. That's an
That's
intentional
exactly
man.
what. Yes. That's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me. In
He
fact,
said, look, you're old, like you're mature. There's no time dating 2 years, 3 years. We don't
no
have that time.
time. No time.
That's
Yes.
He
that's
was
that's a
even the
good
one
man.
telling her.
That's super.
So do these things happen? Yes. Can we
Yes.
navigate it? We can, but really, at the end of the day, it's not up to us as women. Because we're in Africa, we will not force the man to marry us. We will not
So
force the man to date us.
so
So I
how
tell
can a
people,
woman how can a woman in that kind of situation as looking for love? Oh, I don't want someone that you're too old for me. I want someone younger. She's been waiting and waiting and waiting for love, and no one has come. How can she come out from this kind of situation? Must she or should
okay, so
she?
what I tell people to do is enjoy the journey you are on right now. Stop and smell the roses, according to Oyibo people.
That's true.
Stop. Do you know, we don't, as women, if I ask even the two women here now, Onye is married, tell me you're single.
Yes.
When last did you go to the spa?
Well, okay, 2 weeks ago. I had my nails 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
so as
Okay,
women, we are not even intentional about enjoying our current journey.
okay. So sorry if I may add something to. I agree completely. I agree completely with what you have said, Sister Precious. Let me tell you my own story.
Okay.
Tammy knows my story as my sister that she is. I was in a toxic relationship. When I say toxic, I mean dating and being with somebody that can never marry you, all because you want love. I felt I had love, but that wasn't love. Now that I'm much wiser, I know that that wasn't love. Now, after the relationship ended, it kind of put me off or made me scared of relationships. It made me scared of relationships. I got married this year. I am in my 40s and I got married this year. I met someone, in fact, somebody called me on the phone and we just hit it off. We just started talking. We met once, just once, because after the day he called me, he said, okay, I want to see you. After this discussion with you, I would like to see you. We met once. And every other thing that happened was on the phone. Not even serious discussions per se. Yes, because that first day he called me, he asked me all the questions he needed. And the day he saw me, he told me, I don't know about you, but I've seen you and you're what I want.
Wow.
Please, can we get this going? At some point, he gave me 1 week to tell him if I am going to marry him or not. It was left for me
That's a man.
to choose, to decide. Yes, he gave me 1 week.
Yes.
And I was even scared to make that decision. But of course, I had to pray. I had to solicit advice, counsel, and all that. Because I was already scared. I was put off. But one thing I want to say, you mentioned being intentional. Now, the guy was intentional. I was the one that had to be intentional and decisive. I had to weigh the pros and cons. I had to make a hard decision. Because at that time, he wasn't the only one talking to me, really. I had gotten to a point in life that once you approach me as a man, the first question I ask you, are you married? Oh, no. What do you want from me?
Exactly.
Yes.
Relationship or marriage? That was the question I was
Yes.
throwing to men.
Well,
I
let's see how it
I'd
goes.
gotten to a yes, I didn't care again how you saw me, how they if you like, take me to be desperate, do whatever. I didn't care again.
Yeah.
What do you want from me? Relationship or marriage? I don't have, if it's relationship, I don't have time. If it's marriage, let's talk seriously. That was the point I had gotten to. I had told myself that I was going to be super intentional with myself. I had played with myself for years. I had had enough of those games and that play. So when this guy came, in fact, he took me by surprise. I was shocked. He gave me 1 week, either yes or no, so I can move on with my life and you move on with your life. I don't want to waste time. The minute I said yes in December, and that same December, he came and paid my bride price.
Wow.
Yes, that same December, he paid my bride. He told me, give me a date so I can come see your family. I don't know this person. He doesn't know me. We had never met each other, just once. That same December, he came, paid my bride price. And then in May, we had to shift the wedding to May because of counseling. This church, 3 months counseling. Left for him, would have gotten married in January. And honestly, it's been good. It's not been perfect. He's not a ready-made person or anything like that. But it's, I would just say it's been good. Be honest with yourself first. Be intentional with yourself first. I see that intentional man. Immediately you decide that enough, I've had enough. I'm going to be, I lost all care for what anybody anywhere would think of me.
Yes.
I focus on myself. That's why I'm agreeing with you. I focus on only the things that gave me pleasure, only the things that were for my benefit, only the things that were for my advantage was what I was doing. If you're not going to be of advantage to me the way I want, I don't need to be in a relationship with you. I don't need to speak with you. That's what I decided, and that's how it just happened.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Now, I totally understand with what she said, and I agree, because we get so lost in what society demands of us as single ladies.
Exactly.
That we forget that we are, first of all, human beings.
Yes. We are our own person. We are human beings, our own person.
So we live lives that are unfulfilled just because we feel is marriage that is the end goal. No, marriage is just one of the things that will happen to you along the life that you're living.
Yeah.
And yes, we have so many amazing marriages and we have so many terrible ones.
So many terrible ones though.
So it's not just about getting married. Are you getting married for the right reasons? Or are you getting married just because you want to remove yourself from the pressure of when are you getting married? You know, Nigeria, they say, when are we coming to eat rice?
When are you coming to
When are you setting canopy for us?
God.
And the older you get, I found out that the more people tend to, you see this, just like when you said, you know, she met someone on the phone. So the older we get, now I am speaking also because I'm in my 40s. So the older we get, the more people tend to introduce us to people. Recently, I told my mom that, please, I'm not a charity case. Stop introducing me.
She cares.
No, mothers will never stop. Mothers will never
I told her,
stop.
I said, I understand your bias. You're my mom. I'm not angry with you. But
yeah.
I don't want anymore. It's okay. I understood where she was coming from, honestly. She was coming from a wonderful place.
A place of love. Yes, actually.
Yes. And I'm the first. I have 3 younger ones. The 3 of them have kids. Our last one is about getting married in the next couple of months, and he already has a child, you know. So in her mind, she's like, I never marry, I never born. This one, you know. So she just wants, you know, her first child and her first daughter. So I told her, I said, that day she thought I was angry. I said, I'm not angry. I'm just telling you that it's okay. Not when your friend tells you, one of our brother is not mine. The next you say, my daughter is there. Don't worry, I will give you my daughter's number. You know. So I get to talk to these people, and then I find out, you see, that's the thing. Like the last one that I was introduced to, I found out that the man didn't want kids. He already has kids.
Yeah.
And you people just went ahead and introduced me to him. Now, they did not even discuss with him to know his criteria. They just told him, oh, they found somebody. Only for us to start talking, and he was like, look, let me be honest with you. You don't have kids yet. I already have kids. I don't want to have any more kids.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
And for me, that was a deal breaker.
Yeah.
So he told me, he said, let's remain friends. I like you as a person. You're amazing. You know, let's remain friends. So we still talk, you know. So I told my mother, I said, I think you see this one now. You did not even find out whether he still wanted to have children. So what if, imagine that I'd fallen in love?
Hi,
exactly.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah, so I told her, I said, I'm a person. I have feelings. So when you introduce this, we know as women, we see from hello, we have planned the wedding already.
Yeah,
yes,
by the time you're telling us how are you, I finished giving birth to the children.
Yes,
that's the way women are.
Oh God.
Even when we don't even like the person, we begin
I'm telling you.
It's just our nature. It's just our
nature. So,
our nature.
So she laughed. She said, okay, she will try. I said, please try. I know it's going to be difficult, but try. Now, in the meantime, I'm having fun doing the things I love to do. I love traveling. I've not been traveling the last couple of years. I've told myself 2025, 1 trip every quarter. I might just be in Port Harcourt. My husband might be in Seychelles waiting for me.
Yes, so
He might even be in just Cotonou here, Cotonou Beach, waiting for me, Benin Republic.
Yeah.
Me, because for now, I cannot be thinking about a man that I've not even met.
I swear that was the mental state I was in. The truth is that when I met my husband, like you always tell me, I gave him a tough time because I wasn't ready for anything that wasn't going to please me. Anything that wasn't going to please me. In fact, he used to beg me by text, please, I'm going to call you by so time. Indulge me and pick my call. Because if I'm not ready to talk to anybody, I wasn't going to. I wasn't in a place to be pleasant with you because of courtesy or whatever it is, or Igbo people call it. I wasn't in that place. I was in a place of selfish love, self-love, what they call it.
Self-love, yes. And I'm ticking my milestones as I'm going. I'm not just being stagnant in life. Career-wise, educationally, business-wise, I'm ticking my goals are set. See behind me, that's my going on. I'm doing me.
Of course.
So when he comes, he meets a fulfilled, happy, content, precious. And not
that's
a disgruntled.
Exactly what the men are looking for. See, your contentment, your happiness, your full, I don't know how to put it. It attracts.
We understand.
Them.
I
Yes.
think, Dorothy,
honestly,
in life, they said something. So when you're not looking for something, it comes to you. I think Dorothy, at that stage, she wasn't looking for relationship. She wasn't looking for marriage. She was just at peace with herself. Then she met her husband because she wasn't hungry. She wasn't desperate. She's coming from a place of, look, I'm okay. I'm all right. And that attracted her husband. So I
exactly
said, yes. What Dorothy said to me really hit home. Like, be intentional.
And aside from being intentional, when you're being intentional with yourself, be intentional with the type of person you want. Don't lower your standards or go for anything because, okay, this is the available. Oh, no.
Precious, what will you give to ladies going through this situation for 2025? What they should do as we round up?
So for 2025, there are some key phrases we've said here. Be intentional about the life that you intend to live and even the one you're currently living. 2, know what you want. Tall, dark, and handsome does not cut it all the time. There is so much more than tall, dark, and handsome with broad shoulders.
No, it's so not even so much more. It's not about the looks.
Yes. So it has to have what kind of character, what kind of life do you intend to live with this person? And while all of that is in your prayer list, your vision board, whatever it is you're doing to get it to happen to you, don't forget that you are also flesh and blood like this person. So while you're busy saying, I'm waiting for the right man, at the back of your mind, you should also say, the right man is waiting for me, his right woman.
Oh, yes.
Dorothy and Precious, thank you so much for sharing your experience so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Viewers, please do drop your comment. I want to know what your thoughts on this. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on this because it's something that every woman should hear and listen and learn from. I remember what they both said is be intentional. Do not be scared. Do not be worried about what society says because you come first and you matter. Thank you for listening, watching Resonate with Tammy. God bless. Thank you, Dorothy and Precious. God bless you so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be
always here. A pleasure, yes. I always have fun.
Okay.
Honestly.
Thanks and God bless. Ciao.